The lone vote cast not in favor of Clark went to Angel Reese. The vote kept Clark from becoming the WNBA's 5th ever unanimous rookie of the year.
Who was the voter?
Somebody that left Ken Griffey Jr. off the ballot when it came to Hall of Fame. They took it. They're like, bro, you gonna leave the guy off the ballot? You ain't even said, okay, you just say,
Right.
you know, you left him off the
Right.
ballot. I mean, I don't know how you come to the conclusion that she wasn't the unanimous MVP. She got a team into the playoffs when they hadn't been to the playoffs, I think, since 2016 or
Right.
2017. Led them in scoring. She led the rookies in scoring.
All right, let's talk about the Caitlin Clark Rookie of the Year vote drama. Because, oh boy, it's got everyone talking. Caitlin Clark, the record-shattering WNBA sensation, was all set to be named the unanimous Rookie of the Year, which would have made her only the 5th player in WNBA history to pull that off. But then, out of nowhere, one single rogue vote came in for Angel Reese instead.
Oh, this and all
Right,
that.
right.
All I know, when they got eliminated from the playoffs, the attendance dropped,
Right.
the ratings dropped. They tried to give you every other
Right,
reason why. So now give me the reasons why. She's gone. Is the old guard still watching? Look at the attendance when the Fever play your favorite team, and look at the attendance when they don't.
Keeping Clark from that perfect score. And let me tell you, the reaction, explosive. So here's the kicker. The WNBA keeps its voting process anonymous. That means we have no idea who this lone voter was.
You think I'm so happy for payback Pat McAfee, because what he did is to show what could be done, what is possible.
Yeah.
I don't begrudge. Oh, he getting all the credit. Man, P-Mac wasn't the first one to have no podcast. He ain't blah, blah. No, get that money, P-Mac. Oh, so somebody really do got that kind of money to
Yeah,
pay.
it's out there.
There were so many black people. There were so many black people that had podcasts before P-Mac. All I know is that what he did is that he opened it up and let you see what could be possible digitally.
Which brings me to my first question. Why is the WNBA still doing anonymous voting? I mean, in the NBA, voting isn't anonymous. If you cast a vote, you better stand by it and let the world know. But in the WNBA, nope, no accountability. If you're going to be bold enough to go against the overwhelming consensus, shouldn't you at least have to put your name to it?
Caitlin Clark wins the Rookie of the Year. There was one vote for Angel Reese, everybody else for Caitlin Clark. This is what's happening, is the voters are now putting out on social media, hey, it wasn't me. It is your, that's your prerogative. You can. I mean, I've voted and had people criticize my votes, but I had no problem telling people. I mean, I was proud to be a voter in the NBA. Somebody thinks Angel Reese was the Rookie of the Year. Fine. Maybe it's a writer who covered her team in Chicago. Okay. It's not the end of the world.
Fans are going wild speculating who this mystery voter is, and they've thrown out some theories. Alyssa Thomas's name keeps popping up, and while that's not confirmed, let's just say she's no stranger to controversy. If it really was her, well, that would add a whole new layer of drama to the situation, wouldn't it? Because let's face it, Clark's rookie season was insane. She didn't just meet expectations, she obliterated them.
The WNBA Rookie of the Year race was pretty much neck and neck for the majority of the season, but now the league has officially crowned its queen. Caitlin Clark is your 2024 WNBA Kia Rookie of the Year. My girl averaged 19.2 points a game, 5.7 rebounds, and led the league with 8.4 assists per game, and that made her the first rookie to ever lead the W in that category. And I mentioned the Rookie of the Year race being tight throughout the season, but she ended up with 66 votes from a national panel of 67 sports writers and broadcasters.
Records that stood for years, Clark broke them. And not just rookie records. She was breaking records that veterans with over a decade in the league held. So how could anyone in their right mind not vote for her? Seriously, if you watched Clark play this season, you know she was the obvious choice. She was out there breaking assist records, sinking three-pointers like it was nothing, and putting up numbers that made everyone sit up and take notice. Yet here we are, with one voter throwing a wrench in what should have been a historic moment for Clark.
Caitlin Clark's incredible season has come to a storybook ending as she won the Rookie of the Year award.
You are the 2024 Kia WNBA Rookie of
Caitlin Clark's rookie season, it was a show. Her 769 points set a new rookie record, passing Hall of Famer Simone Augustus from her debut campaign.
You really have to wonder, what's going on here? Let's talk about Angel Reese for a second. No disrespect to Reese, she's an incredible player and had a phenomenal season.
Caitlin Clark's going to go, can you believe I didn't go unanimous? Now, I thought we would have unanimous MVP and unanimous Rookie of the Year. But it feels like all these voters are like, wasn't me. Wasn't me. Wasn't me. Yes, Paulie. You got that with Asia Wilson, but Caitlin Clark all but won, and I don't think it's going to ruin her summer. I don't.
But when you compare her numbers and impact to what Clark did, come on, it's not even close. This isn't about who's good or deserving in a general sense. This is about who had the better season. And Clark was hands down the best rookie this year. But now we're stuck talking about the vote itself instead of celebrating Clark's achievements. Why? Because that one vote wasn't just about picking a player. It was about making a statement.
Caitlin Clark showed up, and this is proof that her life is 10 times as hard as, to get the same credit.
People were actually watching her play basketball, so that added stress of the much bigger audience certainly came into play. I don't want to say scrutiny, but coverage is another way of lowering the bar. And I'm going to say this again. This is a Confucius mantra. The standards they set for you is what they really think of you.
And when you make a statement like that, you better have a good reason. But let's be real, there is no logical reason why Clark shouldn't have been the unanimous pick. So what was the motive behind it? Some are speculating that it's personal. And honestly, it wouldn't be the first time we've seen something like this in sports.
If you're the person who voted for Angel Reese, clearly I would think that you're aware of what the reaction may be. Would you put your name out there?
Sure.
I don't think they have yet. I'm checking.
Sure. They don't give you guidelines here and say, hey, check off, check this box, that box. If you really feel like Angel Reese was the Rookie of the Year, then just own it. And if they don't, they might just say, look, I voted and, this is who I thought should be Rookie of the Year. I don't agree with it. I thought she would be unanimous. I mean, it's not even close.
Maybe there's a rivalry brewing, or maybe someone just didn't want Clark to have her moment. Whatever it is, it's a mess, and it's a mess the WNBA should have avoided by making voting transparent. Look, if you're going to go against the grain, fine, but at least be ready to back it up with facts, stats, something. Instead, we're left with an anonymous vote that reeks of bias.
Caitlin Clark got all but one Rookie of the Year vote. She will not have the distinction of being a unanimous Rookie of the Year. Is it a big, I would tend to think Caitlin Clark doesn't care, but she probably does care a little bit. And a lot of people are celebrating that. They're excited. They stay strong, whoever it was that, kept it real and blah, blah, and denied her that distinction.
And it's got fans calling for more accountability in the WNBA's voting process. And they're not wrong. If we can't trust the voting system, how are we supposed to trust the results? It's not just about this one vote. It's about the credibility of the league as a whole. And here's where it gets even messier.
People believe what we say on television. Just because people don't like you or your personality, they can't get on TV and slander you. It's just total bullshit. These ladies, and I'm a WNBA fan, they cannot have this Caitlin Clark thing up any worse if they try. What is going on here? And the thing I love about her, she never says a word. But these ladies, who I love and respect their game, they couldn't have this thing up.
People are pointing fingers at Alyssa Thomas, saying she might have been the one who cast that vote. Again, not confirmed, but let's just play along with this theory for a second. Thomas is known for being vocal about her views on race and fairness in the league. She's no stranger to calling out what she sees as unfair treatment, especially when it comes to race. But here's the thing, if it really was her, then what does that say about the WNBA's voting system? Is it based on talent and performance, or is it about personal agendas?
Honestly, it's been a lot of nonsense. I think in my 11-year career, I've never experienced the racial comments from the Indiana Fever fan base, and there's no place for it. And we've been professional throughout the whole entire thing, but I've never been called the things that I've been called on social media, and there's no place for it. You know, we come to play basketball for our job, and it's fun, but we don't want to go to work every day and have social media blown up over things like that. It's uncalled for, and something needs to be done.
It doesn't help that Angel Reese herself has made some pretty bold claims about Clark's popularity being tied to her being white. Reese has been vocal about racism in the league, which, don't get me wrong, is a very real and serious issue. But using that narrative as a reason to vote against Clark feels like playing the race card when it doesn't apply.
Instagram wasn't there waiting for me. Instagram and Twitter, these are choices we make. It could have been somebody from Connecticut pretending to be an Indiana Fever fan, or someone from Connecticut who doesn't like you because you're a whiny victim 24/7. In my 11 years, I've never dealt with what I've dealt with. You know why? Because no one cared about your league before Caitlin Clark.
Clark's rise to stardom has been about one thing, her incredible talent on the court. So why bring race into it? The fact that this whole situation has now become about anything but basketball is frustrating. We should be celebrating Caitlin Clark's incredible rookie season, but instead, we're caught up in a controversy that feels more like a popularity contest than a recognition of talent. And now fans are left questioning the integrity of the WNBA's voting process. And don't think for a second that this isn't going to affect team chemistry. When players feel like the system is rigged or that personal biases are influencing decisions, it can create a toxic environment.
I've been on Twitter since 2009 or 8, somewhere around there. The abuse, the things that are said and have been said about me will be said about me today. Turn to your teammate and say, hey, cut it out. But that's not what she's going to do or anybody's going to do. They're all going to, oh, it's Caitlin Clark, it's her fans. And now that Caitlin Clark has exited, they'll get to deal with the traveling gay sex cult that they're comfortable with.
How are players supposed to trust that their hard work is being recognized fairly? How can they believe that their achievements will be judged based on merit and not on someone's personal vendetta? To make matters worse, the WNBA has been completely silent on this. No statement, no clarification, just radio silent. That's not a good look for the league. They've got to step up and address this, because the longer they stay quiet, the more people are going to question the legitimacy of the entire voting process.
And so now people showed up and you're dealing with what everybody deals with on social media. You've got 14,000 followers on Twitter, and Caitlin Clark on the Roots poster or the Roots, what is she talking about? Did someone put Dejanay Carrington's face on something? I don't know. People were waiting for them before the game, after the game, and yelling racial slurs at them or yelling inappropriate things at them. I'd be on board. And it's really easy to ignore, and most people don't know who she is in the sports world. The only reason why people even know who she is because of Caitlin Clark.
Let's get back to the main point here. Caitlin Clark deserved to be the unanimous Rookie of the Year. Her numbers, her performance, her impact on the league, it's all there. She's the kind of player that doesn't come around often, and she's already changing the game. The fact that we're even talking about this vote instead of celebrating her is ridiculous. But you know what? 10 years from now, no one's going to remember this one stupid vote. What they will remember is Caitlin Clark dominating the WNBA, breaking records, and making history. This Rookie of the Year award is just the beginning for her. She's going to rack up so many awards that this little hiccup will be nothing but a footnote in her career. Still, it doesn't make it any less annoying right now, because Clark should have had that unanimous title. She earned it. And whoever that lone voter was, whether it was Alyssa Thomas or someone else, they need to own up to it. If you're going to make a bold choice, at least have the guts to stand behind it publicly. Let people know why you voted the way you did, because hiding behind anonymity just makes the whole thing look shady. In the end, Caitlin Clark is still the Rookie of the Year, and that's what matters. But this whole situation has cast a shadow over what should have been a shining moment for her. And the WNBA needs to fix this. They need to make the voting process transparent, and they need to hold voters accountable. Because if they don't, this kind of thing will keep happening, and it will continue to undermine the credibility of the league. So what do you think? Should the WNBA change its voting rules? Was this one vote really about talent, or was there something else going on behind the scenes? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more takes on the biggest stories in sports.